Yup.
Yeah, bro, I'm
What's
back.
up?
Yeah, welcome to another happy,
you
joyous,
up?
and free episode of Not So Anonymous.
Nissa.
Yeah, Nissa. Yeah, I'm up, dude. I'm fighting, dude. The show must go on, right?
Yeah,
Fucking
always.
any lengths. How's everyone's week been?
Interesting.
Don't remember it.
I worked a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you say it was interesting?
Well, I don't know. I've been working a lot of overtime and then like I've been trying to cut out all of my like laziness time throughout the week and
Nice.
fill it with productivity. And so cutting out TV has been the big one because like even if I don't watch that much TV during my work week anyway, but that's probably like maybe 2 hours before I go to bed and maybe an hour before I go to work.
Yeah.
So that's like 3 hours a day that I'm working out. I'm working on stuff on the computer. I'm cleaning, doing stuff, trying to keep my life organized. So it was interesting, but also at the same time exhausting because then I was just going. And felt like I didn't have any free time, but like I like that, but I don't at the same time. So, I don't know. And then you're just working the overtime, try to make extra money.
Well, it sounds like, dude, I feel you. It's that journey, right? Like fucking when we try to better ourselves, like not just, again, it's kind of like beyond just staying sober, but like how productive and how happy am I right now?
Yeah.
And it's a big thing, dude. It's a big thing. I applaud you. Cutting out Netflix alone is a motherfucker. And that is like a productivity booster by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched more Netflix this fucking week than I care to ever again. So
Yeah.
I know how distracting it can be.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I feel that's how I felt when I was on the quarantine for the vid.
Yeah.
And like I was like, I kind of wish I had made this decision before that happened because I could have got a lot done in that fucking month that I had off.
Yeah,
but really, I just sat there and watched TV.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I can't go anywhere. I might as well watch TV. I didn't think about actually being productive in my house.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I tested for COVID this week, dude. Came up negative.
Bullshit.
I did, dude. I swear.
We'll get you one of these days.
Yeah, I know. I thought for sure this was it, bro. Like, because I don't feel good right now. Like, I feel like shit. And it started fucking last Saturday, man. I have not felt good since. I even told Brie, I was like, dude, I think I finally got it. She's like, all right, well, let's go, set up like a rapid test, all that stuff. Came back negative. I was like, fuck, dude. All right, cool, whatever. But it's been a pretty crazy week for me too, man.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about it?
Well, first it started off Monday, and again, like this whole week, like it's crazy, dude, because like so much good has happened this week. It's been an amazing week, like just amazing week for my recovery and like progression, and a bunch of stuff that I've been working like so fucking hard for is like came together this week, but I have been sicker than a dog for it. So it's kind of just a weird up and down week. But Monday, man, I got to go to my church and I got to record my story for them, and that was heavy for me. Like I've shared my story. We go to H&I, obviously this podcast. I've shared my story a bunch of times, man, but recording it in that atmosphere for me, it was different because I remember being there, and my church was one of the first seats planted in my recovery. Bree started going there. She started trying to convince me to go, and I was like, dude, fuck that. I really don't want to go to church. I'm good on that. I don't need to go to church. I was like so combative towards it. I didn't want to do it at all. And then eventually I started going, and this is when I'm struggling with my addiction. And then she started working Sundays, and I just started going by myself because I was like searching for something, man. Like I knew I was like shattered and broken inside, and I didn't know what to do. Like I wasn't aware of like the program. I wasn't aware of meetings and all this type of stuff. So I just started going, man. Like I was searching for something, and I didn't quite know exactly what, but I was just searching for something. And I remember going there, and they showed this video, and it was not necessarily a Celebrate Recovery video, but it was a video, and my sponsor was actually the one that they featured in the video. And then I would see videos from time to time of just these people who had just been through the depths of despair and like these comeback stories. And I remember watching the video and my sponsor talking about like God's bathroom floor, where he was withdrawing on this bathroom floor and came to like a moment of acceptance there. And I remember watching all these videos, and this was at a time where I would constantly break down, dude. Like every time I heard anything, like they started talking, singing, anything, I'm just a wreck because I cannot get it together, dude. I was so spiritually broken. I was shattered. I was miserable. I was depressed. I was suicidal, and I just could not get it together. And I remember watching these videos, man, and just thinking like, I wish so bad I could be the dude on the screen, man. Like it wasn't even about like I look at me. It was like these are comeback stories. Like these people got their lives together. Like are like got through this difficult time. And I wanted so bad for that to be me because I just couldn't do it, man. I went 2 years and I felt like I just couldn't do it. I was a guy nodding off at that church. I was falling asleep. My wife like waking me up mid-service because I'm just drooling, you know, like for real, dude. And I wanted so bad to be able to get it, man. But I still had that closed heart. I had that closed mind. I wasn't ready to like hear what people had to say. I just wanted to be magically fixed. I just wanted like them to snap their fingers and it's all good now and I'm better, you know? I didn't want to put that work in. I was still scared of that journey, you know, that journey that seems forever. So instead I decided I was going to stay a slave, kind of like the conversation that we had. So for this week to happen, man, the pastor hits me up and is like, "Hey man, you know, I'd love for you to share your story with us." And when I went there and I felt horrible, man. Like even when I seen the video, they finished the video, they sent it back, and like I'm clearly like I don't look good. My voice is like horrible because I'm all congested, all of it. But I remember sitting there and like these nerves came over me because like I realized like holy shit, I went from broken, crying, shattered, wishing so bad that I could be on that screen. I'm about to be on that screen. Like for that journey, bro, like it meant so much to me. It was mind-boggling to be able to give back and share my story the way that I had seen these stories that affected me so much. And it's too big to even describe for me, man.
That's awesome to hear. I was gonna ask because I was always a little bit curious about when you started going to church,
Yeah.
or how you got into it, whether like you were brought up in it or whatever.
No.
So you went from being that person wanting to do it so bad. I can relate to kind of what you said about every time you'd see the video and crying like that, because when I first got like a few little introductions into AA, I would like go home and like at times I'd be like fucked up and I'd be reading the first step in the 12 and 12
Yeah,
crying,
totally.
going, this is talking to me. This is exactly what it feels like.
Mhm.
But I still didn't think I had like an alcohol problem. Like, you know, it was just like, but I was like, this makes so much fucking sense.
Dude.
So like when you were talking about that emotion, like I just remember having that emotion, dude. And that's just so cool. Like, because the closest I've got to experience that is, you know, I said the same thing when I was in treatment. I wanted to be, you know, the H&I people that came into treatment, and finally getting to do that with you guys. So you talked a little bit about how that made you feel. Could you like believe it, and like how, because it felt like forever when you wanted to be that person,
totally,
and has it felt like it just time snapped and now you're doing the thing that you wanted to do?
Both. Like it feels like a lifetime ago and the snap of a finger at the same time, dude. It really does. Like, and I was sitting there thinking like I couldn't grasp it. Like I was really trying hard to grasp it, and just how far I've come along. And just when I decided to put that work in, and like, and I still fail every day at step 3, but try to step 3 myself and like not live out my own will. It's crazy, dude. Just what happened. Like all of this stuff, man, it's just mind blowing. From Donnie, like being a student mentor there now, which one of the pastors came up and mentioned to me and was just like super stoked to see. And Goomer playing drums for Not Celebrate Recovery, the church sending you home with a drum set, like all of this shit, like it's so crazy to see, dude. Like, because first of all, I would think we could agree our podcast isn't necessarily like church language friendly, right?
Yeah.
So to get so much support from them, dude, and then like for them to know everything and just be like, yo, we want you to share this. It just meant so much to me, man, because again, like I was that kid broken in that audience, and looking at that screen, what that screen represented to me was like so much bigger than just like, because to the outside world, right? Like who cares, right? I mean, I don't know what played on some church screen like 1,000 miles from here. Like, and cool, you know, like, but for me, I've never had to fight harder in my life for absolutely anything than to get up to that screen. So it was just big, dude. It felt really big. And again, it's just all of it, dude. Like, it's just, there's so much that's happened this week. Yeah, I bought a new truck this week, right?
Mhm.
I fucking quit smoking cigarettes this week. Picked up a new sponsee this week, all while feeling like dog shit. Like, so it's just,
Yeah. When you came in and you were like, oh man, it's been a fucking week. Like, I was expecting to hear like, oh, let's hear. It must have been rough. And you're like, you just started listing off all the good things. Well, it must be tough.
Change is a real bitch.
it is kind of, but no, man, I don't, dude. It's just, it's been wild, bro. A lot of stuff. You know, I was speaking with I was speaking with someone, and he's right around the same sobriety time that I had, clean time that I had when I went to start going and working at the warehouse. He's gonna go work at the same exact warehouse that I worked at.
This is a guy from the church?
No, this is
Oh.
one of my. It's a new sponsee.
Oh, okay.
We
Gotcha.
we all know who he is.
Okay.
He calls me. He's like, all right, yeah. So I just got to this place, like, or you know, this is what I'm doing. He's working the exact same warehouse that I worked at, like right around the same clean time as I. And he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm on my way to go buy a truck. He's like, what the fuck? Like, that's just, oh, casually, you're just on your way to buy a truck. And he's like, damn, dude, how are you doing that? And I was like, dude, you know, and I just thought about it though. I really thought about it because not too long ago too, Bree had asked me to throw out my boots from that job. And I didn't want to, I don't want to do it. Like
the boots that she bought you?
the boots that she bought me, bro. Like, I don't want to throw them out because I look at those boots, bro. They are tattered. They're ruined. They're crazy, dude. They're freaking marked up. I've glued the soles back onto them numerous times. Like, legitimately glued the soles back onto them numerous times. But dude, what those boots represent to me, dude, is so much, bro, because I went to that job and I'm thinking I'm hot shit, right? Like slanging real estate, doing this, making this income, all that type of stuff. So for me to put all of that pride aside, humble myself and go load boxes with 18 and 19-year-old kids when I'm 29 years old, about to go make the least amount of money that I've ever fucking made. Well, at least since I was 16 years old.
I know the feeling.
Right. Dude, it's humbling, right? It's like a seriously humbling thing, but like I was willing to do anything to stay clean. Absolutely anything to stay clean. To go from all of that and then to go and load these trucks with these 18-year-old kids. Now my girl's got to buy my boots. I'm so broke, I can't even buy my own boots, bro. My girl has to buy my boots for me. My bank account was in the negative for 3-4 months, dude. Like, that's just what it was because I was so willing to put my recovery first. I was like, fuck the money, dude. Like, I know what it's like to be broke. All right, I'll be broke. If I can stay clean today, then that's all that matters. Because that part in the big book where it talks about the man who puts his economic well-being before his spiritual growth, that shit hit me hard and I took it to heart, bro. And when that dude told me I had a paycheck personality, that's what came to my mind. I was like, all right, cool. Tell me what to do. So I went and got this job, man. And I busted my ass there, dude. I put that work in and I stayed clean. And I stayed clean. And I look at those boots, bro. And those boots are me. I was that kid who had to be put back together so many times. I'm that kid who walked out of there still intact, beat the shit, right? Like my soul literally had to be put back in me like numerous times, right? Just like these boots. I had to glue these boots back together so many times, but that was me, bro. Because at the end of the day, it didn't matter how many fucking times I had to glue those boots together. Those motherfuckers got me through work, right? And they got me through to the end of that journey. So to come full circle, now I'm talking to this kid who has about the same amount of time that I had when I go. And my conversation this time is, I'm about to go buy this truck. And I'm not just about to buy a truck. I'm about to buy the truck that I envision myself buying that first trip that I read that book, How to Think and Grow Rich, bro. When it fucking spoke about that auto suggestion and spoke about manifestation and spoke about like our thoughts are tangible things, right? Like I put it in my mind and I said, I will be driving this truck. This will be mine. Soon. Like, I'm going to put the work in. And that didn't just happen from like sitting there meditating and hoping or nothing. Like, I put the work in, right? Like, I took leaps of faith. Like, I practiced faith. I quit that fucking job. I got what I needed to get out of it. I loaded those boxes. I humbled myself. I worked my ass off. I beat those boots to shit. And now it was time to move it on, right? And I took that leap of faith. And I don't know where my next check is coming from. I don't know all that type of shit. And then I have my best month ever. And then this happens, that, right? So now all of these things that I've been working so hard for, believing subconsciously and having faith and praying for, like putting that work in, now it's coming together. Now I'm about to drive that truck that I first imagined myself in, right?
Mhm.
Donnie's driving the Tesla that he imagined himself in, right? Like all of these things fucking come together and it just blew my mind. It's blown my mind. Like, holy fuck. And I had to really sit there and comprehend it the other day, like, or yesterday. I think, yeah, yesterday. When I bought it, I just had to sit there and think, like, holy fuck. Like, this just happened. Before, like, if I go and try to apply for if I try to apply for a fucking any loan whatsoever, they're gonna be like, listen, bro. All right. I'm just saying, we seen your credit report. Nah. You know, so for all of this to happen, it's been mind blowing, man.
Man, that's amazing. That's really good to hear. That's kind of why I got into the wanting to cut out Netflix and wanting to like be more productive and stuff, because I felt like a couple weeks ago I had reached a plateau in my recovery. Like my life was getting better by being sober. Right. And that just alone, and going to meetings and, you know, kind of just living a life of recovery, my life was getting better. But I kind of reached the highest point it seemed like I could get. I wasn't going to make any more money. I wasn't going to get more sober. You know, I could be sober longer. And like, I wanted to start like making goals and doing things like that. And it just kind of, I know you guys talk about it all the time, but it's one of the things that like I needed to realize for myself.
Totally.
And see it
Absolutely.
going. It's not that you're doing anything bad, but if you just keep doing everything the way you're doing it, you're not going to grow from this point.
Right.
And so it was like, okay, I need to start making goals. And like, I started, you know, putting stuff into like the production company and stuff that like I want to build and practice more and making more and creating more content, trying to find hobbies, trying to learn how to do something new. And Donnie and I were just talking about yesterday, trying like finding something that I can learn how to fail at. Like, because
I like that.
You know, a lot of times, a lot of us will fail at something, go, oh, I'm not good at it, and then never try it again.
Yeah, we had this conversation not too long ago.
And so trying to find something that like I know I'm going to fail at and like keep consistently working at it to kind of train myself to get away from that like one and done mentality. And like, that's how I'm going to better myself and finally start to, you know, I've seen the blessings of recovery, but I want more.
Totally.
And it kind of
want
feels
the blessings of recovery.
And it kind of feels crazy to finally like get to that next step and to see you like on those like steps up there. It's motivating and it's really inspiring and you know, proud of you guys.
Well, I love what you just described, right? Like that, something that I can fail at. I love that, because for so long, if I didn't naturally grasp it, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not naturally great at this thing first try, well, I guess that doesn't fit for me. You know, like I smashed my computer. To this day, I never fixed my computer. I have a laptop that I fucking snapped because I failed my real estate exam, which is an extensive exam. I didn't study for it. I just assumed I was going to go in there and naturally know everything about real estate and every intricate law about real estate. And when I got my results back and I failed, I didn't know how to handle failure. I snapped my laptop. Just snapped it, right? And immediately realized what I had just done and then got high because I just fucked my laptop up, you know? So to go through that, and it's a lot of that, like you said, dude, like receive the blessings of recovery. That's what I want. I want to receive the blessings of recovery. Staying clean, absolutely priority number one. Nothing happens if I don't stay clean. Cool, great, job well done. But that's not all I'm searching for. Like today, that's not, I tread lightly when I say that's not good enough, because it should be, I guess. I really don't know how to describe that. But for me today, staying clean is not enough, because I can be clean and miserable, and I'm uninterested in that. Like, I don't want that. I do want those blessings that you're talking about. And I remember, dude, it's just only been a few months really that I've started that kind of journey that you're taking right now, as far as like, all right, I'm going to cut this shit out. I'm going to cut this out of my life. I'm done. I told you, like, I'm purposely not watching Netflix. You're like, dude, Mr. Robot's fucking great.
Yeah, I know.
But
I was like, fuck you, watch them.
Yeah, dude. But I literally like because I will get fucking hooked. And I know then all of a sudden now I'm up till 3, 4 in the morning because I can't turn the fucking TV off. I remember that journey, and it's amazing, dude. I'm fucking stoked, bro, because I think with 3 hours a day extra for your creativity and your progress, I think it's going to make a world of difference, dude. I think it's going to make a big difference up here too. You know, and I think it's going to lead to some spiritual growth because, I mean, that's what I've experienced at least. You know, it's that happy, joyous, and free shit that I'm trying to chase.
Yeah, it already feels better, and plus you add that into like kind of what we talked about in the last week's, like reworking my program and my steps, and actually feeling it. Like I was talking to you, Goomer, yesterday about how I actually feel the steps this time. Like I get done meeting with my sponsor, and I'm like,
feel them.
and I'm like, that's what I needed. That like I learned something, I figured something out about myself, and so like you mix all those things kind of together, and it's like, yeah, I'm tired from work, but I'm still kind of on this like, it's like I still feel good, you know, like things are going well, and I feel happy. So,
That's huge, man. Feeling the steps, living them, like all that stuff, man. Like I know, like going through the steps the first time, like every time I was going through the steps, it's exactly what I was going through in life, and like being able to apply that in a day to day, it was really big life changer, man. And I'm proud of you, man. Like you seem so lighter and so like there's a certain freedom to you that you carry now, man. And I just admire it, man. I just like sometimes I don't really engage like when you're talking to me, man, because I'm just like blown away and I'm just taking it. I'm just like, damn, dude, like you look, talk, and just seem different. And I'm just happy for you, man. Like it just seems like you just the journey, like your journey, you know, like we were talking about yesterday. And like that kid who came up to us and started talking about his experience with the steps, and it was just like watered down, like really rushed or whatever, you know, like I'm not trying to knock down the way anybody works their steps or anything like that. But I just know for us, especially with you now, it's just there's a certain common, I guess, thread that we all lived and working the steps a certain way where it's like it changes your life. Like you said, you know, you're not interested in just being sober. Like that whole spirituality and spiritual tools and that certain freedom and calmness is it's amazing, man. It's been a blessing to see, and just watching you, dude. I'm just like I'm happy for you, man. I really am. I'm like stoked. And like Jordan says, dude, it motivates me, dude. Like I just been getting some God shots and going to a new direction. Like come Monday, like I'm gonna pull that trigger and finally like start applying for that job and like you know,
man.
Because it's something that I want to do, man, and I have a passion for it, and it's something that doesn't scare me. Like the pay is not as great.
Who gives a fuck?
I really that doesn't interest me, man. Like I know I can make so much money in the experience and the jobs that I've done.
Yeah.
In my background, like that seems so easy and like, but something's telling me not to go down that path. Like I don't want to. It just looks dark and lonely. Like when I think about it and I vision myself that I just look beaten and broken and sober, if that makes sense. Like I look down that path. I picture myself at the end of the path, and not saying I know exactly what's going to happen or anything like that, but I put myself in that where that's going to lead me and what kind of work and what my days are going to look like. And I just look like broken, beaten, sweaty, and just dirty, dude.
Right.
Like, and I don't. And then I look at myself going down a different path, and it seems like I'm going to be surrounded by broken, beaten, dirty people. But I feel like that's going to make me happy. Like I really want. Like I just love recovery. Period, man. Like I have a strong passion for it, man, and I know what it's like. You know. Like,
well, I'm stoked you're doing it, man, and like fuck the more money, right? That's not if the financial decisions, man. Like with the reason I quit my job is because it was for the life that I wanted, the life that I wanted. Period. Right? Like they offered me a certain amount of money that solves a lot of problems. That's security, that's stability, all that type of stuff. But there's also a cap on that money, and there's also a cap on my time that I am able to spend it doing what I want to do. Right? And making that decision to say, you know what, fuck that, I'm going to go this different route. It was not a decision necessarily based off money. It was a decision based off lifestyle. And for you to take that, dude, I'm so fucking hyped.
Yeah, all signs point to take that path, man. And I'm fucking stoked.
Bro, if God didn't smack you in the face, bro, like I don't know what else is going to take. But anyways, like... So I'm just sitting here listening.
It's amazing, dude. Brief backstory on that. So I want to work at a recovery spot, recovery, detox centers, and not necessarily be a mentor or counselor or anything like that. You know, like I'm more interested in like being on the, like you said, like boots on the ground. Like I want to sit there and like talk to the dudes just coming in that are beaten and broken enough to like, hey man, like what'd you do? Going back to that video that you saw, like seeing that when you're beaten and broken and wanting it so much, it seems like an ages, years. It's
Impossible.
impossible. It's just like fuck. Well, that's him. I'm different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that's how I thought. You know, rehab,
Absolutely.
H&I, like they had some dude came in and had like 2 years, and I was like, dude, I'm never gonna get there.
Yeah.
And then it's just like that's so far away, dude. Like I'm different. You know, like it's not gonna happen for me. I have these on my plate. I got this and this and that, and those are just what I was thinking. But now it's like, dude, I'm like 4, 5 months away from being 2 years sober, dude. I'm like, holy
Mhm.
shit, things just fucking time flies and things just happen. And I really want to apply that theory of like, I really want to challenge that. It's like if you go do the things that you love, money will come, right? And not necessarily that's like, well, I'm gonna do this and then eventually the money is gonna come. Like I want to see what really happens if I really go after something that I love and take the variable of chasing money away. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And not let that play in my, well, I need to work harder because I'm gonna get raises and this and that and that. Like I really want to go down a path of like what's really gonna make me happy. If it make,
Lifestyle, right?
yeah, like if it's really gonna make me like lighter in my days, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like you can like
Absolutely.
you go to work and not feel like you go to work, and then
Right.
like so like you getting off of work, it's not like, oh fuck, dude, that whole like time is left of the
Mhm.
day. Like what happens if you truly, truly enjoy what you're doing? Like how does life,
Feel?
yeah, life feel in your day? Like because something that recovery, it's like days go by, it adds up to times, weeks, and you know, you get all this time under your belt, which is cool. But like one of the things that, and I think it's off a song or something, but someone like one of my first meetings, someone gave me like this little booklet. It's like, I don't know, probably like 2 inches by 3 inches little booklet. And it said meeting in a pocket. And I used to always carry that little
Mhm.
booklet in my pocket. And it has all kinds of prayers, step work. And it's just like when I was feeling lonely and I was getting in my head, wherever I was at, I can just pull it out and just read it. And like I always kept like, you know, recovery or something related to recovery
Right.
with me. And in that booklet it said like recovery just didn't give me more more days in my life or something like that. It taught me how to put life in my days. So
Mm.
going back to like what happens if you go back to what happens if you truly enjoy what you're fucking doing as a profession or work, it's like how beautiful can life really, really get? So it's like something that I'm kind of pushing towards. There's a lot of fear and I'm just like, nah, 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 nah. And I've been getting some crazy God shots, man. Like they're just smacking me in the face. I'm just like, all right, like fuck.
They're smacking you in the face and you're still all right.
Maybe
Yeah, I
Monday
feel-
I'll apply.
Because it started with like me talking about it, right? And I ran
Yeah.
it by you guys, and then like Donnie ran into someone like, hey, I have this buddy that's really interested, and then I got in contact with that person, and then they told me like pointed me in the right direction, and then I picked up a new sponsor, and that's the type of work that he does.
At
and then,
that spot.
Yeah,
He
at that
works
same-
there. That type of work.
Like,
he works there.
and then he's like head up in the
Trying
ladder.
to minimize like.
So then I'm just like, well, fuck, I gotta, you know, make
And he
a,
hold up, no, and he was like, "Yeah, if you want to, call me." Like,
so then I'm like, all right, that.
no, hold
those are
up,
little
what, Donnie?
I'm done, dude.
Donnie's been sitting this whole episode going, I fucking told you guys all this shit.
Get over yourself, Donnie.
No, it's not that, bro. Like I just, all right, dude. So, I just had like a fucking experience, just a spiritual experience, just sitting here listening to everything that you guys were just talking about. Like, it was insane. I got the chills and I got overwhelmed with the fucking emotion, like where I wanted to like tear up, bro, just because like hearing the full circle, first of all, from like that video you seen at church to now you're gonna be on that, and that is huge because you know I also watched a video at church with like this guy, you know, with the huge fucking bag on his back with just so much shit in, and he just carrying this
Yeah.
baggage around, you know, and it's just like when he finally let go of it, he was just able to go live life and just like to see that and come back full circle. And then also like when you shared about the work boots, bro, literally
Yeah.
the videos that you guys have seen on the fucking Instagram have my work boots that literally got thousands of, you know, like thousands and thousands of
Steps on
hours
those
on it,
ones,
steps
yeah.
in them, dude, steps after steps after steps
Straight
to get
up.
to where I'm at. And those same boots, dude, my sister bought them for me because I didn't have the money to pay for them. And I can remember the times calling her and saying, "Hey, Britt, like, can I borrow just like a little bit of money just to get me by
Oh yeah.
until I get my check from this job?" And this is early recovery. And I also smashed one of my laptops, bro, because I was so frustrated, like in early recovery, and it took me 5 times to pass my real estate exam. Like all this shit, bro. Like, and to come back and like I still own the same pair of boots, and the shoelaces are, I've had to retie them in like 10 different places.
Oh, dude, mine tied 15 times, dude.
But I
Like
still
knots
have
all the
them,
way
and
down.
it's a reminder, dude, of like what
Straight up.
the miles and the
Hard
steps
work,
that I
man.
had to take to get to where I'm going, like where I'm at now. And because I forget, I don't see, like Goomer asked me, he's like, you know, like I'm getting, you know, results out of the actions that I've taken, and
Yeah.
but it's like I want to keep progressing, bro, and
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing, like
No.
because when I look at my life and now, and like I've been given this opportunity, a second chance at life almost.
Absolutely.
And am I gonna fucking sit here and waste it and watch Netflix? Like, no. Like someone's like, "Hey, did you see that movie?" Like, nah, dude, I want to create my own movie. Like that's my life. Like I want to be out here creating a movie, not just fucking watching one.
Mhm.
Like that's like huge on me, right? Like, and then hearing you guys taking the small steps of just cutting things out that aren't productive in my life. And like, you know, we had a Monday morning mastermind with like the real estate group that I'm with, and that was like the big topic is like what is your purpose, you know? Like what do you have, like a purpose or a mission statement? And in mine, like my mission statement is to positively impact as many people as I can, and that is one of the reasons why like I love fucking doing this, you know? And being able to leave our mark on the world like is crazy to me, and like that ripple effect that we're doing, man. And I love it so much, dude. Like I watched a TikTok not too long ago, and it was like this girl asking her grandpa like, "Hey, you know, you built all these things in your life. You built houses, you built this building. You know, he was a master, you know, contractor, all this stuff." And she was like, what's the best thing that you built in life, you know?" And he was like, my relationship with, you know, with my loved ones. Like that was his answer. And that is fucking huge for me, because that's, you know, there's 4 types of currency that we have: money, time, knowledge, and relationships. And I think time and relationships are the most valuable currencies that we have. And I don't like the relationships that we're building through this is fucking amazing. And then we just keep progressing and keep going. Like, holy shit, wait a minute, hold up. You're gonna tell me I was like a drug addict, and now people at the church are asking me to mentor
Isn't that insane?
their high school kids, because to share my experience with them and help them like get through shit that they're going through. Hold the fuck up.
Yeah. What just happened?
Like, just 2 years ago, I burnt my eye on crack.
On crack. On crack.
Dude,
But
it's a strong sense of hope, man.
It is, but then like to sit and talk to one of my mentors that's had a huge impact on my life, and you know, I've had a rough week just mentally, bro. Like everything is fine, but in my mind, just because I still suffer with you know, my disease is trying to tell me that I'm not good enough, or that I can't do this always. Like my disease is trying to kill me inside of myself. It's messed up, but it's true. And I have the thoughts of like, am I really good at this though? Like it's the thoughts, but that's the thing. It doesn't define me. And I'm talking to him, and he's like, what are you just gonna give up, bro? And I'm like, holy shit, dude. Are you like, damn, that just hit me hard, bro.
You're right.
I was like, no, I'd never given up on anything, but like it's those couple days, you know, that I was going through that mentally, and I'm like, well, you know, and my famous, or not my famous.
Oh, dude.
The line that I always tell myself is like, this too shall pass. And like, and it was, bro. Like last night, bro, I needed it, bro. Like we went to that meeting, and it was like, damn, I really needed this, because I wasn't connected for a few days, man. I lacked the connection, and I was suffering from it. But just yeah, I mean, it's just like doors open up, man, in sobriety. And that's the crazy thing, is I just had to stay sober and take some very minimal action compared to what I genuinely believe that I can do 100 times more than what I'm doing. Like most days I'm like, did I do, you know, but I stayed sober. That's like my biggest thing. But I truly believe that I'm capable and I have the potential to do even more and impact even more people if I get over the fear of what's holding me back, because that's what it is. Okay, go ahead. I'm done. I'll hop in.
I was just gonna say, I was like listening to like all of this, like even myself and all of you guys. I just had this like crazy moment of you can go back and listen to it in one of our first earliest episodes, and I don't remember exactly which one, but we were having the conversation about the CEOs and all this stuff. And like I said, okay, that's good for them, but I'm lazy.
Oh, I'm dumb.
So I'm dumb. I'm lazy. How am I going to do that? And to kind of see the growth of the mindset from what was that? 7 months ago?
I don't even remember.
Maybe
like
7 months ago, to seeing all of us and the change that's going on today, where like you said, I believe I can do more. I believe I can do more. I believe I have the power to like be very successful and be one of those CEOs or someone that, you know, has their own company or different things like that. Like I don't think I'm a lazy person anymore, when I really legitimately thought that was like that was my burden to bear back then. Like I'm lazy, I'm dumb. You know, that's cool that you guys are smart, and it's like just seeing all of us to the progression of the topic that we're talking about, and it's recorded. Yeah. What we said that long ago is just kind of mind blowing. I just wanted to, and because I believe it too.
Well, what I think too is it's so important. That goes to show too how important it is the way we talk to ourselves, the way I talk to myself. If I tell myself I'm lazy, I'm dumb, I'm a piece of shit, all this type of stuff, I'm gonna be a lazy, dumb piece of shit, right? That's because now I believe it. I'm training myself to believe that. I'm telling myself that. So that's what I'm acting out, and that's what I did most of my life. I was like, well. Someone asked me what I was like, what I liked, what I enjoyed. I was like, I enjoy drinking, gambling, drugging, fucking. That's what I like. Hell yeah. So I acted that image out, right? Like I acted that out. So instead of I'm lazy, I'm fucking lazy, I'm worthless, I can't do it, yada, yada. I'm a kid who's made mistakes and I'm trying to better my life one day at a time. Like I'm admitting my faults, but I'm not downplaying myself, right? And like that alone has been a game changer for me. That fear aspect that you brought up, like I'm not good enough. I love that you're fucking diving into some shit. It's something that we've seen for a long time. I've seen from the get, right? Like you were before this ever kicked off, I went up to you, I was like, Jordan's our guy. Like, you know, it's a shit that we've seen forever that you failed to see. It's the same thing that I've seen, like, people will say something about me, and I'm like, well, I don't fucking see it, man. Because I'm a lazy, dumb piece of shit, right? But if I can overcome that and retrain my mind, right? Like you're big on, Donnie, and I can start speaking to myself different, and I put it in perspective. Like, what am I afraid? I've been broke. Dude, I know what it's like to live with my bank account in the red. I know what it's like to wonder where I'm getting my next fucking cigarette from. Like all of these things, right? I don't have any gas. I'm putting 72 cents in the tank. I've been at the depths of it all. What the fuck am I afraid of now? Like, I know how bad it can get. I did it. What's stopping me? Why? You know what I mean? And that goes to that fear aspect. How am I talking to myself? What am I doing? What am I getting out? What am I cutting out of my life that's going to add to my life, right? Cigarettes. I'm on day 4. No cigarettes. Seriously underestimated the depression fog that was going to set over me without these cigarettes. Also haven't worked out in a week. I think that's fucking with my head. Like all of these things. It's been as triumphant as this week has been in my recovery up here. It's been a fucking battle, dude. Like you, I disconnected, dude. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in about a year.
Dude, I know.
Like that.
Dude, I just seen it. Last night I was talking to Jordan as we were leaving. I was like, bro, I really fucking needed this, dude. Like just that laughter, sitting there for hours after the meeting, like chopping it up, laughing.
Always
bro.
the last ones to leave.
Always the last ones to leave still, man. Like after the party's over, we're still there chopping it up. But
good times.
I'd love to hear the hope and the inspiration and just moving forward, and then how that, like, I'm gonna try not to say that, but I fucking told you so.
About what?
I told you to read the damn book, bro.
Oh, that was a great book. I know. Don, I can see it on him the whole episode. He just wants credit. Give me my credit. This fucking guy.
No, it's not the credit, bro. It's just the how crazy it is that just reading 1 or 2 or 3 books in your life can change your whole entire perspective on life and how we view and just our perspective is crazy because there's 3 books that really changed and impacted my life, and I read all 3 of them in the first like 3 months of my sobriety, and it's
a gnarly time to read those 3 books.
It was 3 books, dude. And they were all written in the 1930s, bro.
Yeah,
every one of them within 2 or 3 years of each other, and some of the greatest minds wrote them, bro. Like.
Didn't have Netflix back then.
Boom. They didn't have Netflix back then.
No,
that's why they're smarter. That was the point I was trying to get across.
And it's crazy that we can, 78, 90 years later, we could still apply the same principles to our lives today. It doesn't matter about technology. It doesn't matter about any of this shit. It's taking those and I mean the 3 books, the big book was one of them. Like that changed my life forever, man. Like I think everyone should read that. Alcoholic or non-alcoholic, addict or not addict, read the fucking book and try to work the steps, dude. Like it doesn't matter who you are. It'll help with anything in life. And then the other one was Think and Grow Rich, which is a huge book for him, man. And I plan on reading it again. Like I just read it for the second time and I'm probably going to read it again. And then the third one was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that, dude, opened my eyes up to a whole nother level of how to communicate with people and the impact that we have, on people and with our words. And also how you talk about how I talk to myself. And I always say, I'd be impeccable with your word, but it's true, dude. Like it's crazy because just to reflect back on the past week, how we lost a couple big, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but we lost a couple big people in the program, and they passed away sober, but and they had years and years of sobriety, and I'm forever grateful for the one guy, both of them, but the one guy especially, bro, because what he did the most for me, he 12-stepped me by showing up every day. He would show up to the nooners, and that was like the meeting. Like I was there, bro, and then there's to hear he shared and little by little, like his message impacted me. And then he was like, "Hey man, you should come to this H&I." Like my first H&I was with him and another person, and I'll never forget that shit because that was like my early sobriety when it impacted me in a huge way to hear someone share their story, openly, and I'm forever grateful for him and like the positive ripple effect that him just carrying the message. And talking about how God had such an impact on him in his life when he turned his life over to him. Yeah. Like that shit hits me super hard still to this day. And I'm going to continue to carry on the message and try to, I guess, mimic what he was doing or, just do what he was doing. And
same here. Like one of those guys, like I admire the way they shared, like they were really, I guess, true to themselves, whatever topic they talked about, they conveyed the message and then shared the way exactly how they wanted to share it. And they didn't care if it was going to offend anybody or if anybody was going to take it a certain way or scare anybody away from them. And because one thing that one of them said is like, dude, I don't want to share like anybody else. I don't want to share like that person. I'm going to share exactly how I am supposed to share. Because I was always scared, like, well, dude, like every time I share, like there's a certain thing about that comes out and I hate that about me. And he would like just throw it out there and I'm like, dude, like, and that always hit me. And that's why I share when I'm a speaker or something, like I am the way I am, because he beat that into me and he was a great example of that for me, man. And it's unfortunate, but it's
yeah, he was such a, like, you can just tell he was such a powerful part in the rooms because we all, I feel like we all have the same, like similar stories. And like I remember him being there when I went there. Like he was like the first person. I remember when my parents came for my 1 year, and then he walked in. I was like, that guy's my favorite person that comes to this meeting because of the knowledge and the wisdom that he shares. So
it was definitely,
it was definitely,
yeah.
It's sad.
Well, what I love too that you guys are talking about too, you guys are talking about that early sobriety shit, right? And I think that could all wrap up into what we're talking about here today, right? These people affected this man that you were speaking with, like that early sobriety stuff, and that's like a fragile time for us, right? Like that's a really. I was just having this conversation with someone. I was like, dude, for me, it was harder to get 90 days than it was 20 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight up, dude. Like it was hard, right? Like that shit was difficult. And like just quitting these cigarettes it's brought me back to that early sobriety when I was like, yo, I don't know if I can get another day. I better keep this up. I don't know when I'll get a week again. Like when I was trying to get clean, like, oh my God, I feel like I've been clean forever. I got a week, dude. You know what I mean? Recovery, dude. And now it's like we go a week and we don't even think about it, right? It's just ingrained in us. But like now, like going through it again with something else, it's bringing me back to that early recovery, and it's making me appreciate, like you said, the progression. You talked about it earlier. We literally have recorded evidence of our progression, right?
So remember that drive the other day, we're coming up here and we're just like kind of sitting in silence, and I looked there, I was like, fuck, dude, this shit's crazy. What we're doing with the podcast, or like just like you said, we're just documenting one of the best times of our life, and we're like
capturing our growth week to week.
But like in the beginning, or since the beginning,
decline.
since the beginning,
Sometimes
which is fun, which is cool, man. And like you said, that attraction rather than promotion, dude. Seeing someone like, and that just attracts you, the way they share or how they carry the message. And then we're at that meeting last night, and one of those guys that I went to my first my home group, and he was a speaker at that meeting, and I remember I picked up my newcomer chip, and he looks at me. He's like, "Dude, you're the most important person in this fucking room."
Hell yeah!
While he's sharing his story,
and you don't believe it at the time, huh?
No, I'm just like, "What?"
I was like, "Fuck off, dude."
That changed my life, man. Because like being like different and having all those thoughts, and like he comes from like the same background, so to say, and I was able to relate to someone for the first time, and then him making me feel like I was important or seen. You know what I mean? Because I come in there and like, dude, I don't relate to no one. Like, I see everybody has like years or X amount of time, and it's like, dude, I'm never gonna get there, dude. And I talked to him the other day, and every time I see him, I'm like, yo, man, I was like, you're a fucking legend, bro. That's another dude I call a legend, dude. Because he made me feel like I should come back and give this shot a try. And I talked to him, another person. He works in a facility, and he's another person that, it was like another God shot. And I was like, hey, man, I heard your line of work, you do this. And I was like, I've been really interested in doing it, man. And I really want to take that step forward. And he's like, you should do it, man. He's like, people like me and you, he's like, we're a little bit rough on the edges, and we can help a lot of people. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, and it was like a huge compliment coming from him, pretty much saying like, yo, dude, like, because that's a big goal. Like, I want to seem like recovery is
relatable.
Fun. Relatable. Recovery is fun. Like, because early on, it's like being sober fucking sucks, and it sounds boring. But
sounds boring, yeah.
But if someone can just look at me, or especially a young kid, man, and be who they are without drugs and alcohol, and that's a big goal. And I know like my window is really small. And I was talking to that young kid again. He's like, dude, he's like, you're 30 years old. He's like, yeah. He's like, I thought you were younger, man. He's like, and it goes back to like, damn, dude, I only have like an X amount of time to impact a young crowd. Because like once you get to like 31, 32 years old, they're like, that motherfucker don't know shit. He's not relatable. He's old as fuck. So it's like, I think a big goal right now, it's like to try to impact like the young people in the rooms, dude. And it's been amazing, dude. Like that early recovery shit, it's fucking, I'll never get there, dude. I talked about like my counselor, he said like, now that Palm Valley had the big pillar in your recovery, it's like reaching out to you and be like, hey, you be that person on the screen now. Like I was at my home group.
Yeah, that's right. You just had a
my counselor from Tijuana, dude, he hits me up on what's up. And he's like, yo, man,
what's up?
What's up?
What's up, dude?
What's up?
What is it called? WhatsApp?
WhatsApp.
Oh, learn something new every day.
I thought he was saying, what's up?
No. Anyways, so he hits me up, and this dude, like, he never hits me up. You know what I mean? Like, I always reach out to him, or like, and that's not true. He's checked up on a couple times, like, just to see how I was doing. So I thought it was just one of those things. He's like, where do you live, man? And I was like, yo, I'm in Phoenix and this and that. He's like, dude, there's some kid that lives in Phoenix that's in this clinic that you came to. He's like, that's going to be released soon. He's like, I want to give him your contact information and try to get him plugged in and, just do and show him, how it is when you come out of rehab, don't let him, just support him and try to hold on to him, and just do, the only things that we obviously can do for someone. And that made me feel fucking good, dude. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, this dude, like, is telling me, like, here's, like, here's someone coming out of the clinic,
Yeah.
like help them out. And it was just like amazing going back to, that now you're that person on that screen, dude. So that I know at that moment, like what you say is like, holy shit, now I might be that fucking person, dude. Like
It's crazy.
I'm responsible for some shit now, dude.
Accountable.
Yeah, dude. Like
You get so caught up like focusing on like yourself and your recovery and all this and like obviously it's like so important, but then you're like you don't realize you don't see that growth and how far you're coming. You're like, oh, like it's the next person's turn. Right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
amazing
it's-
picking up new sponsees, dude. And I'm like really drawn to these new sponsees, man. It's like seeing the willingness and the light bulbs going off on them. And I was
It's
talking to you
amazing.
about this last night, dude. I was reading Bill's story. That was the first time they've ever heard it. One of them's done it, but he said he half-assed it. And like he says, like, dude, he's like something about you like makes me want to open up and really give this a shot. And I was like, cool, I appreciate it. The other dude's never been through it, but he just seems like he's blown away by the material, like that book. He's like, holy shit, dude, this book's the shit. So he's all excited to go through it. So we're reading Bill's story together, man. And like, I'm more pumped up going through it now, like at this point, I'm getting more shit out of that book. And then now I'm just like, I'm more excited. Like I'm more pumped up I'm their faces are engraved in my fucking head, dude. Cause I'm reading Bill's story, dude, and I'm pumped up. I was like, "Holy shit, bro! You get this part?" Like it's hitting me like they're just like, "What the fuck's wrong with this guy, dude?" But it just stokes me out, man. It's cool, man. I'm blessed to have you guys, man.
We're
Blessed.
very blessed, man. And you know what the best part is, dude?
What's up?
It's just the beginning, bro.
Yeah. My sponsor told me that. He's like, what's one thing that you don't believe in the rooms, Goomer? I was like, I hate when people share the wildest dreams or the wildest dream of your life or dream life is about to come true or some shit. I was like, that's fucking bullshit, dude. Like, can it really happen? But it's happening. Donnie just got a Tesla. You buy a new truck. I told Dylan, I was like, dude, you really can't relapse anymore, dude. That will be like you're fucked, bro. Podcast, new truck, all the growth.
I know. It's
you relapse, I'll buy that truck from you for $20.
I'll need a home as long as I can live in it.
Donnie too, man. That kid, I remember in the meeting, he was just like, "This program works, guys. I know a crackhead, and he just bought a Tesla." Dude, everybody knew exactly who
You weren't there. I don't think you were at that meeting.
I wasn't there.
It wasn't there, bro. Like, it was hilarious.
Dude, he's
man.
so fucking amazed by that. I'm like, bro.
It is.
I mean-
But it's like, it's hope, man. Like,
That is because you got to think about where he was at, right? He's at that spot that we were at when we were worried about a hamburger.
Fucking the other night we were at IHOP and he's like, bro, I don't even have. He's like, I have literally just enough money to eat, and I was like, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Like
All the time.
Not even to say that money is like everything, but it definitely.
But it still is somewhat a sign of like a goal accomplished in a sense, right? And even bigger than that, it's the life that I'm achieving or that I'm striving for, right? Like I was talking about earlier with you going for that job versus you have a trade, right? You have a skill in this field that you can make money. It's been proven. You've done it before. But that's not the life that you want, right? Yeah. And that's what this comes down to, dude. And like you were talking about, like the next generation. Like I think you said something along those lines, right? Like maybe when you were talking about like we're about to not be relatable,
yeah,
something along those lines. But like breaking off the next generation, those kids, right? Like you have a sponsee who's a teenager. I have two sponsees, like fucking 19, 20 years old. Like these kids are the kids that I want to show how to be sober because they're the ones who are going to be able to take it to the kids who are struggling right now. And we know fentanyl is getting younger and younger and younger, right? Yeah, younger and younger. Mm-hmm. And when I took your sponsee out for his 1 year, you were out of town. I think you were in Mexico building houses. Mm-hmm. I told him, I was like, listen, man, like, because my sponsee was asking me about it. I was like, dude, or we were talking about it or something. I was like, that's nothing more than I'm just showing you how to be sober, dude. Like, that's it. The same way that I hope that you will show the next kid how to be sober. Mm-hmm. And that's that seed planted, right?
Yeah, dude. Mm-hmm. It's so amazing that like the opportunity that we have to do that and to be the lighthouse. Basically, I always talk about this. Just
one of our close buddies talked about that.
Yeah, just
too.
Being the lighthouse in. I was like one of my sponsors said, "Yo, my brother relapsed," and I said, "You know what the best thing you can do for him is?" And he was like, "I don't know." stay sober? I was like, yep. You hit that on the head,
I was
bro.
gonna say give him Suboxone.
Stay sober. That's the best thing you can do. So when he is ready, you're there for him. And to be able to pass this on to the younger generation is huge for me because I didn't have that opportunity. No one was there telling me, hey, dude, do you understand if you just get this now and you just quit doing drugs right now, like you'll be 10 times ahead of the majority of, other people. Not to say like ahead of them, but you're going to be happy and you're going to live a great life that you can be proud of. Like, and not to say like, I'm not so to say proud of what the hell I did before. I'm grateful for everything that I went through
for sure.
But I'm not exactly proud that I spent the majority of my time, in a freaking dark room, scared of my own shadow. But
and I think for like the younger kids, it's like glorifying that behavior, like I think that's what at least when I talk to someone young, it's like I don't want to glorify that behavior. Like, dude, like sobriety's fun. Like we've gone out to parties where people drink and we've gone out to bars and we've gone out fucking strip clubs or shit like that, dude. But it's why we do those things. You know what I mean? Like one of the young kids that I talk to, it's like he likes that image, and I glorify that. The bad. I've talked to like.
Oh yeah, I always like the fucking
bad guy and the villains and all that shit.
Jay Adams, who we have on this thing, I loved him because he was the fucking outlaw drug addict cholo motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
so it's like you can still be a badass and not fucking do drugs and alcohol. You know what I mean? Like
my dad always said, "Real G's do it sober."
Yeah, that's good shit. Right
I remember me. I think I've said it before too, and not necessarily the badass, but for some reason, I always wanted to be the guy that was at the bar every day. Like the guy that was sitting at the bar that like knew everybody, and that was like I don't know why.
Right.
I don't know why. It's just like this thing inside me. It's like obviously like I can't be that anymore because that would just be can't really do that sober. But it is a waste of time. But like I was just thinking about even last night when we were out there at the place. For one, we closed down the ice cream spot. We were the last people there, and it was kind of funny because Donnie, you said you're like. Man, it's kind of crazy that we were surrounded by people and we were the loudest, having the most fun. Like everyone in that whole courtyard saying like the crazy stuff, laughing. And like that's the gift that it brings. And I think that was, something that attracted me to like always having the group of friends at the bar. And it's like that group of friends can be anywhere. That person that you want to be can be anywhere as long as you're with the right people and doing it sober. So it's like there's fun to be had, man. And like we have more fun than most people, I would say.
I love that you brought that up. Yeah. I love that you brought that up because that is so true. How many times have we been in a spot and we're just like, dude, we got to keep it down.
Dude, for real.
Dude, because our conversations are fucked up, dude.
That's the thing. Like, we're loud. We're loud. And then the stories, like the actual words that are coming out.
Last night, man.
That was vulgar.
Last night, dude. So we're like, probably like what 5-6 feet away from each other, like at least one table, and there's like a courtyard where like echoes and everybody can hear, and everybody's just like the mood's
enjoying
right,
their ice cream,
like moonlighting and ice cream and shit like that, and we're over there like, dude, he shot up, he overdosed, and super loud as fuck, dude. And I just like,
no wonder those people came up to you. They heard your conversation.
Goober was like, yeah, dude, the guy went to jail on his first day he was in there. Watched the guy get beat to death and dragged in front of his cell. He was like, he was never the same after that. I was like, I believe it, bro.
Dude, so then I get up to throw something away, and the trash can's far, and I could just hear their conversation still, and I'm just like, fuck.
Is that what we sound like?
Is that what we sound like? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
Relatable, fucked up thoughts, man. Like, I don't know. I guess some people are like, who said it? Jordan's like, what do sober normal people talk about?
I was like, what are they conversating about?
Who knows, man?
Who knows?
Stocks
and bonds.
Crypto.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm proud of you, Dylan.
Yeah, dude, I'm happy for you, man. I can't wait for you to drive me around in your car.
I know.
bro.
I'm about to say, both of you guys are driving everywhere
Camping,
from
dude.
now on.
Camping, bro.
I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm gonna ask you if I can smoke a cigarette.
I don't smoke
Try-
cigarettes anymore either. So
Well,
fuck
because
you.
it's fucked up. Because I quit, and you're like, "Hey, do you mind if I smoke a cigarette in your car?" Like, dude, are
You were like months in, bro. All right, don't be a little pansy
That's
about
not the
it.
point. That he's got a new car and he doesn't smoke, and you're asking him to smoke in his brand new car.
It wasn't a brand new car. It was his truck.
It was his truck or his Tesla?
Or in the Malibu, probably. The Malibu, which has crack residue on the fucking roof.
The mall.
He specifically said, "Don't smoke," and you smoke.
No.
You called me, and I was like, "Dylan, you smoke?" You're like,
Smoking
"Nope."
a spit.
No. I was with him. And he
Not
goes,
when he let you
when
use
I
it.
let him use my car.
What'd you need his car for?
I went to Payson.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't trust my junkie Jeep.
Yeah, you smoked
And he
in
was
his car.
smoking the whole
no,
time.
No, I wasn't, dude.
Dylan.
I did one. I did one.
I knew it, bro.
That's not true. That's not
That
true.
is true.
That is bullshit.
That's not bullshit. I'm telling you the truth,
There was
dude.
not one.
I did one on the way up.
I specifically talked to you a couple times and you were smoking.
That's not true.
You told me not to tell him.
That's not what? Bullshit, dude.
I think you texted me saying I'm smoking in Donnie's car. Please don't tell him.
There's no way. That's not true.
And then all he asked like, "Well, fill up my car." And you're like, "Fuck that."
What are you talking? I filled it up and got it washed. Dude, fuck you guys, dude. I swear, dude.
I'm saying you've grown a lot, bro.
We're proud of you.
I don't know if he has yet.
God grant me the serenity.
We're just fucking with
No,
you.
you were not.
I forgot that you even borrowed my car and smoked in it.
Smoked in it.
Remember we all planned to go out to fucking Mexico and relapse together?
Yeah,
We're gonna take the Malibu out.
Mob.
the mall.
Was that a plan?
Yeah.
No, it was not a serious plan.
No, it was. We were debating it, but no, it wasn't a serious.
We're
plan.
It was a joke.
No, we're gonna go back. We're gonna go to Mexico. We're gonna go to the Slip and Fly and go to room Goomer's
Yeah.
fucking
Goomer's
rehab
rehab.
My
in
Slip
Slip and
August.
Slip fly.
When it's 2 years.
Other things.
Cool.
You're driving.
All right. Yeah, it's cool. By then, I think everyone will be nicotine free, right? By your 2
Don't
years?
start that shit. Dude.
Get off your high horse, bro.
It's cool, dude. I don't have filthy habits anymore. but
Anyways,
I'm kidding, guys.
About that
Fuck.
time,
and
right?
fuck you guys too, by the way, dude. Real fast, but yeah, it is that time,
That's all I
Donnie.
wanted.
Yeah. Fuck you, Goomer.
Yeah, I need some nicotine. So
Yeah.
smoke break.
Gross. What's up with the? Oh, you know what? What time is it?
the Daily Donnie
Daily
time.
Donnie, dude.
It's so loud, bro. I'm sorry for how loud Jordan was. Bing. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet today, dude.
All right.
Faith it till you make it.
Faith it
Yeah.
till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's cool.
All
I
right,
thought
I
you
can
just
dig it.
developed a lisp out of nowhere.
Faith it.
Faith it till you make it. Well, that's cool.
It's better than fake it till you make it.
All right.
Wait, no, I'm behind it. I can dig it.
I'm behind it too.
Wah, 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 the Daily Donnie.
The Daily Donnie. That
Tony?
was a good one. Thank you guys for keeping me clean.
You already know what I'm laughing about, bro.
Stop.
All right, dude.
Another time.
Let's get it done. Let's get it.
All right, yeah, I'm over you guys. Goomer, Jordan, Donnie, thank you guys
You're welcome.
for keeping me clean.
Thank you.
I think.
It's
Yeah,
my
you're
job,
welcome.
dude. I'm supposed to humble you.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Everyone out there, thank you so much for being a part of my recovery. Please shut up, dude. Like the show, subscribe, share it, comment, reach out to us. Goomer, you're welcome to take some phone. He's willing to take some phone calls. You want to drop your number real fast?
Mm.
I don't know it by heart.
928-276-1905.
There you go. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Not So Anonymous.